I bet you've never actually felt the Earth moving, right? Well, surprise. Earth is the third fastest planet in the entire universe. But here's the real question. Which planet is leaving us all in the dust? What makes a planet hit those insane speeds? And why isn't Earth at the top of the leaderboard? Buckle up, because I'm about to spill all the cosmic secrets, plus how long you'd be waiting to blow out birthday candles on each planet. But before we jump into the whole fastest planet in the universe thing, let's take a quick pit stop at Pluto. The slowest of the bunch, but don't tune out just yet because trust me, this little outlier has some seriously weird stuff going on. Think of it as the chill grandparent of the solar system, just taking its time while the rest of the planets zip around like they're late for a meeting. So Pluto's speed around the sun is at a snail's pace, 4.74 kilometers per second. That's not even close to fast. In fact, it's so slow that if Pluto were a person, it'd probably need one of those walkers with the tennis balls on the legs. And get this, one full orbit around the sun takes Pluto a casual 247.92 Earth years. That's right. 1 year on Pluto is basically 2.5 centuries for us. You'd be lucky to celebrate one birthday if you were born there. Talk about needing some serious patience. But wait, it gets even better. A single day on Pluto lasts 153 hours. That's roughly 6 Earth days. Imagine planning your week there. Oh yeah, Monday will be over in 6 days. No biggie. Now before you start thinking we're stuck in slow motion land with Pluto, let's jump to Neptune, the distant blue giant that's like the chill but slightly mysterious cousin of the solar system. Now, Neptune's cruising around the sun at a solid 5.43 kilometers per second. Sounds fast, right? Yeah, not really. Neptune's got its own sluggish game going. 163.72 Earth years to make one lap around the sun. While Neptune's orbit is a lazy river, its rotation is more like a roller coaster. A single day lasts 16 hours. And I'm not just talking about the light breeze you feel on a beach. Neptune's winds hit 1,200 miles per hour. For context, the nastiest hurricanes on Earth barely scratch 200 miles per hour. Neptune's got no solid surface, so it's not exactly getting slowed down by anything. All gas, all the time, which is how it's able to spin like crazy despite being such a big planet. And then, we have the Great Dark Spot. Sounds ominous, right? Well, it kinda is. This is Neptune's answer to Jupiter's Great Red Spot. And it's not just for show. Now it's time to meet Uranus, the true oddball of our solar system. And trust me, this planet has some stories to tell. You'd think being a planet would automatically make you interesting, but Uranus is out here breaking all the rules. It's not just about speed anymore, folks. We're talking weirdness in the best possible way. First up, Uranus is orbiting the sun at 6.81 kilometers per second. Okay, not blazing fast, but not exactly slow either. It takes a chill 83.75 Earth years to complete one full lap around the sun. That's basically one human lifetime. So if you were born on Uranus, yeah, you'd be lucky to celebrate even one new year before you croak. But hey, at least you'd have the ultimate excuse for missing a birthday party. But that's just scratching the surface, because here's where things get seriously weird. Uranus spins on its side. Most planets, pretty upright, spinning like normal celestial objects. Uranus? Nah. It's got a 98-degree tilt, meaning it's just rolling around the sun like a ball someone forgot to pick up. Imagine if Earth had that kind of tilt. We'd be sideways too, with the north and south poles taking turns frying under the sun. Now, this tilt isn't just some quirky personality trait. It's got real consequences. Think about this. Uranus experiences 42 years of continuous daylight on one pole, and then 42 years of total darkness. 42 years. You could literally live an entire life cycle on one side of the planet in either constant daylight or total night. The next target is Saturn. You know, the planet everyone recognizes because of its stunning rings. But those rings are just the opening act. Saturn's got a whole lot more going on under the hood, especially when it comes to speed. First off, Saturn is moving at 9.69 kilometers per second. Not too shabby, right? It's covering a decent amount of space at 21,675 miles per hour. But here's the thing. It still takes Saturn a casual 29.42 Earth years to make one lap around the sun. That's right. While we're out here celebrating birthdays every year, on Saturn, you're lucky if you make it to one. But don't roll your eyes just yet. This isn't because Saturn's lazy. It's because it's 1.4 billion kilometers away from the sun. The distance alone is enough to justify the extended road trip. While it's taking almost 30 years to make that orbit, the planet's rotation is like a cosmic sprint. Saturn spins so fast on its axis that a day lasts just 10.7 hours. Compare that to our comfy 24-hour Earth days, and it feels like Saturn is in a perpetual hurry. Oh, and there's one more thing you can spot from Earth. Thanks to its massive size, of course. Yep, I'm talking about Jupiter. But today, it's not just about the size. We're all about the speed. So, how fast does Jupiter zoom around the sun? Try 13.07 kilometer per second. That's 29,236 miles per hour, faster than most of us can even imagine. And despite being a massive gas giant, it's making a full orbit around the sun in 11.86 Earth years. Now sure, it's not breaking any speed records, but for something this huge, moving at this speed, it's nothing short of mind-blowing. But wait, there's more. The real jaw-dropper is Jupiter's rotational speed. This beast of a planet is 318 times more massive than Earth, and yet, it holds the title for the fastest rotation in our solar system. A single day on Jupiter? A mere 9.9 hours, while Earth takes a whole 24 hours to spin on its axis. Jupiter, which is 1,321 times the size of Earth, is out here crushing that in less than half the time. The faster Jupiter spins, the crazier these cloud bands get, creating some of the most extreme weather systems you'll ever find. And let's not forget the star of the show, the Great Red Spot. Now, Jupiter's speed doesn't just affect its weather, it's messing with the planet's shape too. Just like Saturn, Jupiter's rapid rotation gives it a bit of a bulge around the middle. This whole oblate spheroid situation means Jupiter's equator is about 7% larger than the distance between its poles. Next, we're not just talking about a future vacation spot for space explorers. Mars has some seriously interesting quirks when it comes to speed. And believe me, it's not as simple as slow and steady wins the race. First off, let's talk about orbital speed. Mars is cruising around the sun at 24.077 km per second. Sounds fast, right? Well, compared to the inner planets, Mars is actually taking its sweet time. One Martian year is around 686.93 Earth days. That's right. If you lived on Mars, you'd be waiting almost 2 Earth years just to celebrate one birthday. It's the ultimate waiting game. Why? Well, Mars is hanging out much farther from the sun than Earth, sitting at about 228 million kilometers away. So yeah, it's got a longer commute, which explains why the orbit takes forever. But Mars doesn't just stretch out its years for fun. This slow orbit creates some of the wildest seasons in the solar system. With a 25-degree axial tilt, similar to Earth's 23.5 degrees, Mars experiences seasons just like we do. And what about the speed of your home planet? I know you might be waiting for this one, but sadly, it's not the winner of speed competition at all. However, don't think of it as a peaceful blue ball either, because it's moving fast. Like, really fast. First off, Earth's orbital speed around the sun is a whopping 29.78 km per second, 66,615 miles per hour. Let that sink in for a second. Every second, Earth is moving nearly 30 kilometers through space. By the time you blink, we've traveled about the length of 3 football fields. Yeah, it's wild. And that speed? It allows Earth to complete its trip around the sun in exactly 365.25 days. What we call a year. That extra 0.25 days is the reason we throw in a leap year every 4 years, just to keep our calendars from falling out of sync with the planet's journey. But here's where it gets even crazier. Earth might be racing around the sun at breakneck speed, but it's also spinning on its axis at 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. That's 1,037 miles per hour faster than the speed of sound. And yet, we don't feel a thing. How? Because Earth is spinning so smoothly, we don't even notice it. The only time we get a hint of this spinning madness is when we watch the sun rise or set, or see the stars moving across the night sky. This 24-hour spin gives us our day-night cycle, which is literally what makes life on Earth possible. Now don't worry, we haven't forgotten our twin Venus, and believe me, when it comes to speed and rotation, this planet is anything but ordinary. So, here's the question. How can a planet be both fast and slow at the same time? First up, Venus orbital speed. This planet doesn't mess around when it comes to racing around the sun. Venus is flying through space at 35.02 km per second, or about 78,337 miles per hour. That's one of the fastest speeds in our solar system, meaning Venus completes its orbit in just 224.7 Earth days, way shorter than Earth's 365-day year. So far, so good, right? Venus is fast, simple enough. And as if that wasn't bizarre enough, Venus throws another curveball. It spins backward. This retrograde rotation means that if you were standing on Venus, you'd see the sun rise in the west and set in the east. Completely opposite to what we're used to on Earth. Now let's get to the real star of the show. Mercury, the speed king of our solar system. This little planet is like the Usain Bolt of the cosmos, zipping around the sun at an insane speed of 47.87 km per second, which is a mind-blowing 107,082 miles per hour. Just to put that in perspective, Mercury travels more than twice as fast as Earth during its orbit. While we're here taking our sweet 365 days to complete one lap around the sun, Mercury has already zipped through its entire orbit in just 87.97 days. But why is Mercury such a speed demon? Well, it's all about location. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, sitting at an average distance of just 36 million miles. That means the sun's gravity has a much stronger grip on Mercury than on any other planet, which basically slingshots it around space at this ridiculous speed. Now, be honest. Did you guess it was Mercury? If you did, then tonight's dinner is on me. Drop a comment below, but remember, only honesty gets the prize.